I don't even know where that like narrative exploded that, we're guys.
You bring them up every week. That's why. When I asked you to name some names, you're always like, Bo Hostler?
Yeah, but like that was like 7 years ago and it continued. That's fine. That's fine. But I agree with you. He seems like a really annoying person to golf with. He seems, I don't know, TV didn't do him kind yesterday.
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog, the FedEx St. Jude Championship, the first leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Smash a like, sub to the channel. Give me your winner down in the comment section. Jeffrey, the Wyndham leaderboard was a friends and family leaderboard, and our friends and family came and took our money, unfortunately. But shout out to Michael Brennan. I'm in this weird space where obviously I've been betting Michael Brennan all throughout the summer. I get off of him for 1 week and he wins. I've basically become Cust somehow going through this, but I don't know if I would have been like, obviously I've lived through him winning now with me not on him. I would have felt especially bad if he had given this one up with a 3-shot lead.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't block one OB.
Almost on 17.
Almost. And then put it to 30 feet. Had a little bit of drama there. I, like you, had rode Brendan for a long time and then got off 2 weeks ago and then was hating myself on Sunday. And then somehow a guy I did bet won. Softens the blow. I could have looked at that as like a mulligan. Like, you got away with one. Go back to Brendan. I didn't. And to be fair, I really didn't think about him that hard. I know you did, but I didn't. Even with the, the Wake Forest ties and the familiarity, he was not really, I made a late swap of this one was back and forth of hating loving. My last move of the week was to take out Ben James and put in Jordan Smith.
You were the one who talked me. You talked me into Ben James on the show on Monday, and I bet him on the show.
Yeah, what I said on Monday was, Pat, like, we're not getting off Ben James, right? And you're like, right, we're not. And in the end, I got off Ben James. So yeah, I mean, I felt really silly about that. Obviously, Smith gave a couple moments. Was Brennan popular? I didn't even see like the tips sheet come out.
It wasn't a community win. He wasn't one of the most top tip guys of the week.
Usually we're more likely with what happens last week. I know it wasn't like a Kyle Stanley situation, but I'm, when that happens to you for the first time, I'm not like running or thinking about wanting to bet you the next week.
Well, it happened technically 2 weeks in a row because he was in the second to last group. He was well back of Koiven, but obviously he has these like 7 birdie streaks in him. He's in the second to last group at the 3M, blows up, doesn't even come inside the top 10. Last week, he's in the final group, doesn't even finish inside the top 15. So honestly, I was sitting there with my Tom Kim bet. He's 1 stroke back of the lead. I didn't want to feel like it was easy business going into Sunday, but I scanned all the names and I thought, Tom Kim should have this pretty easily. I'm not going to lie to you. He didn't. He like gave up halfway through the round. It was really bizarre.
Obviously Brendan played great and he got off to a quick start. But even before, and there were guys early, Ben James, maybe someone else. I was surprised at how poorly guys from like the second to like 5th last group out played as a whole.
You're shocked
because going into the morning, it's Wyndham. So you're like, yeah, these guys are 3-4 back. But we see guys shoot 61, 60 here all the time. So anyone can go, shoot a gonger at a gong show round. And no one even, like, it was like lifeless. It was just done for quick.
I, for one, am not super surprised Alex Noren or Davis Thompson didn't go make a run. I'm not going to lie to you.
Alex Smalley?
Alex Smalley put it in the hazard on 2. And that was the end of Alex Smalley.
Yeah, so as someone that bet Davis Thompson, I don't know. I remember on round 1, there's so many people who bet him round 1 leader and were so mad he missed some putts, ugly ones. And I'm sitting there like, I don't play first round, like I don't play that market. So I'm like, yeah, this was a great round. We'll get them back. And Yeah. He obviously didn't deserve to win at all. He luck sacked an elbow, but he was flushing it. His proximity had to have been unconscious for 3.5 days.
I would agree, but dude couldn't make a 3-foot putt, and then there was a few drives he couldn't keep on the planet, so that was a problem.
Oh, this is, as someone, I'm making an excuse. He got cold on Saturday because of Denny frickin' McCarthy. Did you see how far behind pace of play this group was?
On Saturday, I didn't know.
McCarthy, they were like a foot. They got to 18, an empty hole. It was an empty hole when McCarthy and DT got to 18. For all the troubles DT sort of had, missing some fairways on the back nine on Saturday, he was playing like McCarthy was a fucking embarrassment. And there was someone else who's even, oh my God, Grazerman.
Well, I didn't see what happened with Grazerman. All I know is that Colt Knost was taking shots at Brennan and specifically Beau Hossler about their pace of play coming down.
They were a hole behind too.
They were a hole behind fucking Tom Kim, who's the slowest player on tour.
Yeah, that was bad. Credit to Brennan though. Just
credit to Brennan. There's nothing that made me happy. I think I just don't like Beau Hossler. There's something about him I don't like. To watch him extensively on Sunday made me like him less. And him making 25-foot par putt, it had to stop at some point, and it finally did. Thank God he didn't win, because we got the best case scenario here for how the playoff seeding worked. Brennan gets in, but because Hossler doesn't win, he doesn't get in, and it allows Koiven to get in. I'm good with that. That's the optimal outcome for the playoffs for me. I can't handle watching Beau Hossler anymore.
I don't disagree with you one bit. I don't even know where that narrative exploded that, we're guys.
You bring them up every week. That's why. When I asked you to name some names, I was like, Beau Hossler?
Yeah, but that was 7 years ago and it continued. That's fine. But I agree with you. He seems like a really annoying person to golf with. He seems, I don't know, TV didn't do him kind yesterday. I don't know how to put this, but we get a lot of reps at watching guys struggle on Sunday in big spots or in spots, important high leverage spots. They don't often come off as douchey as he did when it wasn't going his way, but maybe I'm wrong.
I would agree, especially after watching Brennan gag it the past 2 weeks on a Sunday. It sucked for him. He kept on going though.
Yeah, exactly. So deserved result. And we got a chance to speak a bit yesterday. And I'd mentioned to you that, could this have been a better month for the PGA Tour? Like a month that it just had when the stars, for the most part, go away. But a lot of them actually played. And there were situations where these guys, beat nice fields. And it'll be fun in 5 years if we're always talking about the month after Ryan Fox won the Open, and it won't be about anything Ryan Fox. It'll the symbolism of maybe these three guys are, on Ryder Cup teams or whatever. They're just a part of everything. And the same way we have fun with that 2019 3M and that sort of lump of golf timeline when all those guys showed up and sort of won around each other. So that was a hoot. And even Ben James getting the fourth place for the month.
Ben James, who I had money on, obviously, became the first player in history to shoot 262 or better rounds in a tournament and not win that tournament. 62 on Thursday, 61 on Sunday.
Interesting.
He got himself into a world of hurt at the turn on Saturday, and that was the end of Ben James.
I don't really know what there is to talk about from this week.
Why? I get that Cam Young was the defending champ, so that's why he played. Why did he also play in Detroit, and now he's going to play 3 playoff events? It just seemed like a lot of golf.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I'm also confused at the amount of golf Hideki's playing.
Well, Hideki classic Hideki move was making a run on Sunday on the front nine because he was only 10 back or whatever he was of the lead. So now he's back into it. He got a bit too close to the lead at one point. I think he got within 2 while the leaders were just teeing off. That was too close, so he took a double bogey to get himself back again.
It's okay. And then he's going to go on a bit of a slump, and he'll like win when he's like 68, 75 to 1 or something.
Yeah, he'll win. Everyone will bet him this week because he won the St. Jude 2 years ago, and he'll be like last place in the field. Then he'll win the BMW. That's how Hideki works.
That sounds about right. Did you like, or I guess I should ask, did you see the coverage Friday afternoon?
I watched a little.
And I only asked that because the FedEx Cup, and some things matter. And I found it weird. Like, I thought CBS did a decent job of like trying to care. They had that fun graphic of, at least when there's like 12 guys left on the course, they kind of showed where all of them are in the FedEx Cup. Shout out to the guy who I guess spent time on that.
I like the Koiven cam because there was a real sweat with him of whether or not he was going to get in, because he had to sweat a Bo Hostler win and he had to sweat Davis Thompson. I mean, Davis Thompson went bogey to end his round, so it didn't matter. But if Davis Thompson, I believe, had just played the final 2 holes at even, he was in and Koiven was out.
Well, don't you remember what happened last year here to Davis Thompson?
No, I don't.
He gagged. He was in, and then he was he gagged. He did the same thing to miss the playoffs 2 years in a row at Wyndham.
That sounds like something Davis Thompson, was it a 2-foot putt? The insurmountable 2-foot putt for him? You could lip that way. You just missed the hole on the 2-footers.
I don't. Yeah, geez.
I did see people complaining about the amount of putts that he missed. And granted, it was more than he normally does. But it's like if, when I used to bet Luke List every single week, it'd be like if I came on here and complained that Luke List missed a bunch of putts. Like, I know what I'm signing up for when I bet these guys. This is a part of it. And you hope it's the week that they make the putts and then all of a sudden they win. That's great. And that happens once every 3 years.
Like, hello, people. There's a reason you get to bet a generational flusher 60 to 1 and above all the time. All the time. There's a reason. It's built in to the price. As I don't know what I want to say. As like, think I'm going to pull one past the books because it's DT week. They get me. But I just thought, I thought on Friday, they did a really shitty job with like the cut line and the FedEx Cup. Like we had Ben Coles, like he affected like the whole line and they weren't even paying attention to it.
Well, they had the sweat. I mean, on their digital coverage paid attention to Ben Coles because he is the one who affected the cut line the most because he was out there very late on the Friday. But I wasn't watching the broadcast late on Friday, unfortunately. I was doing other things.
And then they went, I know sometimes they won't take you to the end of Friday, Pat, right? Like it's not the US Open. Like there's guys that are going out at the caboose who Golf Channel, and I guess it's like union rules or something.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. For the people on site, I don't know. It's so stupid. And I respect that, like, it's not 100-yard football field and you can't capture everything. But, they make things sound important. And then they go off air. They go off air as, like, guys' seasons are ending. And Ben Coles affects, like, 17 guys and a lot, I'm being maybe convoluted here. I wish I could say this more concise, but you can't tell me things are important and then not even be on the air for them.
At least move it. Remember when they did I think it was a cut sweat that they did on Twitter one time for like one tournament during the fall swing? Just move it there. Move it to PGA Tour. Move it to Peacock. It doesn't matter to me where it is. I will find it to go get it, but having no coverage of it, to your point, if this is the most important thing of the year, and really it is, I don't actually feel like a lot of the times that they don't make it seem important enough for how it affects these guys, especially going into next year where you're going to have the same year and then you're going to have this new schedule. Like being inside the top 50 for next year, which you don't have a chance to do if you're not inside the top 70, could detrimentally impact a lot of people's careers.
Now, in the end, outside of like 15 guys, everyone is, give or take a couple young guys that are getting hype. Everyone is like the same guys and like fans don't actually care. Like people who are watching who aren't us and the people who watch the show and in this orbit for which we exist in, like whoever golfer 60 to 90 is, it's like all the same. It's all the same to them.
Sure.
Like they don't care. But I'm fascinated, like even to get in the fall swing thing, you got to be top 100 or something. Or like, so everyone in this mule class is sort of playing for their own thing that's very important. And I care enough, but I respect that. Like, I don't know, casual golf fans like don't give a shit if it's, I don't know, I could just like name names, but don't give a shit if like Nick Taylor's out and Bo Hostler's in. That was a bad example.
But I agree with you that people don't care, but you could make more of a story of it by telling the actual story. So we saw, Ricky do this a few years ago when he didn't have his best stuff, but he kept getting the sponsors invites to the signature events, and he placed well in like a few of them. That got him back in, and that has now propelled him. Like he's well into the playoffs this time around because he was able to play in some of these no-cut events and pick up essentially free FedEx Cup points and enhanced FedEx Cup points because he was able to play in these top 50 events. So someone like Ricky Castillo, let's just take him for example. He played, he either kept a spot or played his way in. He's number 68. Now he has his tour card because he won Punta Cana, so he'll be there next year anyway in some of these events, but he now has a shot to get inside this top 50 by having a really good week at Southwind. If he can get himself inside that top 50 by just coming third this week or fifth this week, and that's enough points to get him through going into the next season when there's going to be essentially 2 tours, that's so big for that guy.
So big. So big.
Have you ever tried to figure out which supplements you should actually be taking? It's chaos. Everyone's got a different answer. Everyone sounds completely confident. And somehow, the more you research, the more confusing it gets. That's what I like about the approach behind Blueprint's longevity mix. Instead of starting at a cabinet full of different supplements and trying to figure out what goes with what, just one scoop of water, mix it up, and you're done. Easy stuff. Blueprint is built around scientific evidence with study-level dosages and ingredients like magnesium, taurine, and creatine. Longevity Mix is designed to support energy, cognitive performance, mood, focus, sleep, cellular resilience, and healthy aging. Something which I need, by the way. Getting old over here. And you probably know Blueprint founder Brian Johnson, the guy on the internet basically trying to live forever. He's running one of the most measured longevity experiments out there, tracking biomarkers and publishing the data. That experiment-first philosophy is what led to Blueprint. They also third-party test for purity and toxins like heavy metals and publish the results so you can see exactly what is in their supplements. Science-backed, precision-dosed, no BS. For a limited time only, new customers get 20% off plus free shipping at blueprint.brianjohnson.com by using code MAYO at checkout. That's code MAYO at blueprint.brianjohnson.com for 20% off. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support the Pat Mayo experience and tell them our show sent you, pals.
You mentioned his name. I am pro high crown. They'd wish, there's not enough guys wearing them, so it sucks that like one of them's Bo, who's most consistent.
Keith Mitchell.
But I got to throw a red card here. Ricky Castillo should not wear the high crown. He's got a baby head. You have to have a freaking noggin. You got 7.5 fitted to put one on. I like the snapbacks these days, but like my head is a beast if I want to buy a fitted hat. You need a big crane it. Like you need a big head to pull off the high crown. You cannot get away with it. Ricky looks so goofy with his baby head. Can I say something about LIV?
Sure.
Because I watched a little.
Did you watch all the people there on the 18th hole when they had to stop play for 20 minutes so Trump could leave?
I mean, there were depressing gallery. Like even in England, people get it's bad, Pat, when like the bots don't even have like a photo of like the first tee or the 18th tee somewhere around the clubhouse where there's like an actual crowd. Because anytime there is one, they, take this one picture and they use it as this, like, look at this event. Well, if you go out there, like, it's just barren, but whatever. We don't need to play that game. So I watched a little. I'm the Yako guy. He wins again. It'd be funny if it's like the last real LIV event. 9 LIV wins. We'll be giggling about that definitely through the future.
Good
that'll
trivia.
just be his story.
This will be good trivia when we're doing this show in 2040, when we're both 60 years old. Like, remember LIV? Who was the top guy on LIV? And then we'll have to remember, like, oh yeah, Niemann was awesome on LIV.
And then you guys will make fun of me for like betting him in so many majors, and
then we'll make fun of you for like talking about that club throw thing for like 5 straight weeks and be like, oh yeah,
code of
Niemann.
conduct.
You'll be on the board of code of conduct then. You'll be like 60.
Wouldn't that be good? So
I was wrong on my Ben James stat, by the way. He is one of 6 players in the past 20 years to have 2 rounds of 62 or lower and not win. Tommy Fleetwood is actually one of those people too. Jocker.
Okay. So I'm watching this thing, and it was one of the most embarrassing acts of television sports broadcasting I've ever seen. It's Varner, it's Niemann. I got a little piece. It's only like 9-1. So I'm not talking about it or bragging about it, but I, had to hijack that in. There's so many guys on LIV who've like sucked on LIV. Like just sucked. Did nothing. Every time in this broadcast, which in many ways, maybe it's like the last one, that they have this level of production, because LIV 2.0, for whatever it might be, it won't have the production and the on-site activation of the current one. I'm getting
to clarify, they are playing Indianapolis. They're still selling tickets for the Michigan event, but by all accounts, that is not happening.
So this Arlo White on the broadcast, there's like 7 guys, Pat. He mentioned this about 5, 6, 7 guys who have, in my opinion, sort of struggled on LIV, had decent, nice, even better PGA Tour cards. They'd miss putts or make putts, and he would go out of his way to remind the 8 people watching that these guys are life winners. Ben N is a life winner, Pat. I was told. Harold Varner, a life winner. Can you believe that? We're watching, we are aware enough, unless you're, like, we watch pro sports. We know everyone on the field, for the most part, is a life winner. It is something that doesn't have to get said, especially in the context of that stupid tour and these guys getting paid what they get paid to show up. It was like appalling. It was appalling. It was like grotesque. Send that thing to the goddamn sun. Thank God, whenever, like, whatever. Who knows? You think they could, like, still afford, like, Faraday in the future and stuff?
No.
No way.
No chance.
No way. And that $250 million, it's like a pimple on my ass.
Isn't that like the rest of John Rahm's contract?
I don't know. Like, doesn't that just get them whole with vendors they owe money to?
I don't know. Well, listen, maybe you can buy into Legion 13. Rahm's going to own a lot of shares of that team, but maybe you can buy in too.
Part of me feels, it's hard to feel bad for John Rahm, but I don't know. Like, to not get the money, to have sort of like see, his reputation, though, it only takes like one major. Having observed the discourse around him, Pat, it's like a major to major discourse. But this is obviously hella embarrassing. He's not going to get paid.
Well, he is.
And I don't know what the benefit here is for these guys. I don't know. I don't know how much money they'll even be playing for in the future.
No, I guess we'll find that out. And there's probably provisions in their contracts that they can get out of their contracts if the money isn't completely whole or if there's a sale. So, John Rahm's not a lawyer. He's mentioned that a few times, and maybe his lawyer can look into that. If the money isn't going to be right, maybe they'll find the money and find different ways to monetize this. Who knows? I mean, Bryson seems to be real gung-ho about it.
So if I had a tip for them, they called me in, and I don't know that they would need this advice. And it seems like too many of the people they're trying to attract are American-based, who I guess would want the stuff in America. I'd play one event in America. This is like a world tour, full stop. And I get that's probably very expensive. But this thing seems to at least have the success when we see like Australia, South Africa. Feed the world. Feed the world. That would be my tip. Like playing in America as much as they do. I get that's like probably something they had to do to get certain players, right? Like Brooks, like DJ, maybe at the start. Like, no, we're like gonna they wanted to take over golf. But this new iteration, one time, maybe two max. Don't be half an American tour. Be a world tour, full stop.
You could even fudge it a little bit if you wanted to in order to save costs. You could do, and I like that they've hit up some of the markets that the PGA didn't, being like Indianapolis, Nashville, that kind of thing. So let's say we keep Indianapolis. You could do, if you really truly want to make it a world tour, but try to keep like this time zone so people could watch, just do like Western Canada, like do Calgary, do Indianapolis, and do the Mexico event, like back to back to back weeks. And then you can consolidate some of those costs at least by being relatively close to each other versus being like, hey, we're in South Africa this week. Now we're in Spain.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like the only ever positive PR that's come from that league is off of, a few of some of the international stuff.
And even the DP World Tour is doing big things. Min Woo Lee is now going to play in the DP World India Championship.
So this India events, it seems like it's garnering. Didn't Rory play in this last year?
Yeah, I think he's going back this year too. I think it's going to be Rory, Ryan Fox, Shane Lowry, Justin Rose, Luke Donald, Victor Hovland, Fleetwood, I think are all playing, plus Min Woo Lee.
Was this the one Batya went to, right?
No, that's that's the windmill course.
That's the one that Alex Fitzpatrick won.
Yeah, that's in March.
Yeah. So this looks like good for them.
Well, this lines up well because I talked to Michael Kim about this last time he was on because he went and played in this last year because he did like the DP World Tour swing because he won that event in France, so it got him to the DP World Tour playoffs. But the lead up to the DP World Tour playoffs, it's pretty good. They have like the Korean Open, this Indian Open, then they go to the Middle East for the two playoff events. So I think that lines up well, but at least like you're moving towards somewhere. Like if your two playoff events are going to be in Abu Dhabi and Dubai or wherever those two events are, going like Korea, India, then there, like week off, then there, that tracks. You know what I mean? Like you just move that way. It's not like you're going Korea, Mexico City, Australia, Louisville, Middle East, which seems to be like a weird thing with LIV.
Silly question. Is Patrick Reed allowed to play in the fall?
I believe yes. I think he can play in the fall series on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, because that the season ends and that's next season, and all the pathway players are allowed to play in the fall. Is what my expectation would be. I'm just wondering, Reed will probably play in a lot of those events too, because he'll be in the DP playoff.
He will be. I don't know. That's interesting. Because he'll need to go get his tour card, which he could do by playing like 3 good events in the fall swing. And I don't think he's like, listen, Patrick Reed likes to play golf, so he might just, although he has not been playing a ton of golf recently, that I could see him playing like 4 events, getting enough FedEx Cup points to get his card, because he's going to be starting at 0, where some of these other guys are not going to be doing that with the points they've accumulated all year. But I'm sure that he would want to play in the DP World Tour playoffs too.
So you're probably right. He'll probably play that stateside fall schedule, and he'll go to Abu Dhabi and Dubai for like the final legs of the playoffs, for which he's probably guaranteed to be in, and he usually goes there anyway.
Yeah, he has the 2 wins on DP anyway, so he's most definitely pretty high up in the standings. I would find it to be interesting if he was like close to the bubble for getting his tour card for next year for the PGA Tour. And I think that the last 2 DP events coincide with like what I think is now like the Good Championship and the RSM. That would he skip the DP World Tour playoffs to go get his PGA Tour card?
I'm not sure.
Actually, no, this doesn't make it. Patrick Reed's going to be in the top 10 of the DP World Tour standings, like of the guys that aren't previously qualified. He'll have his tour card.
Okay, yeah, so you're right, he earned it via the pathway. But I think because he's probably been jonesing the golf, he's going to get I think we're going to see him in the fall a lot.
I think that he has that. Let's see.
Yeah, he does. Doesn't it gets you the card the same way Pange and
I understand. Yeah, Patrick Reed's number 1 in those standings. Oh, we got some guys coming over next year. Bernd Wiesberger is going to be back on tour.
Cool.
The My Pillow guy, Oliver Lindell, is going to be on
Jarvis.
Tour. Yeah, Jarvis, Reed, Mean Genio, and Casey Jarvis, Jaden Shaper, they're all up there. Andy Sullivan's back on too, the spaceman.
Andy Sullivan's T10?
He's fifth in the standings.
I know he's like playing better. I didn't know he was playing that well.
He must have
Can I go to an even lower tier of golf and make a comment?
Sure. You talking about the Americas tour?
No. Although, I mean, maybe if you want to do the block thing.
How the hell? We can do the block thing. How the hell did he do this? He had an 8th at the Nedbank. He was 2nd at the Hero Dubai Classic, 9th at the Hainan Classic, 3rd in India. He hasn't been inside the top 20 in any event since March. He's 5th in the standings.
I remember one time he like kind of contended and it caught me off guard. I didn't know he had that consistent of a stretch though.
At the Hero Dubai, he came 2nd to Reed. That was in January. Yeah, according to the PGA Tour website, he's 3rd. I don't even know who some of these other people are. Poor my main man, Daniel Hillier, couldn't play his way on. He ended up coming 14th.
Eugenio, like they're both going to be pretty short on the odds boards in the fall, Eugenio and Reed.
I don't know if they come over in the fall. I think that they come over in January.
Oh, yeah, because they got the free roll. I'm just saying maybe Reed will want to play in the fall if he's allowed.
I can see that. I would if I was him. You want to talk?
I don't really have a take on the block thing.
So can you explain the block thing? Because other people said why he showed up late to his round, got a 2-stroke penalty, and then he quit after the 12th hole. And the early reports were he kind of sulked his way off the course. Then he claimed that he had a wrist injury. So I don't know what's true and what's not. I don't really care. But
yeah, I don't really care either, and I don't even know how to explain it.
I think
like he went over to Europe on the European Seniors Tour on a sponsor's exemption. And withdrew from the event. It just walked off the course. Apparently got a 2-stroke penalty for being late earlier in the day and was complaining about course conditions a lot and was, I don't know, I could be at this point, I didn't care enough about the story, but I am online, Pat. And it's one of those stories where like, I'm going to tell you something and I don't know if that's like true or not. But it could be true, but maybe it's someone just making a joke. Apparently he made comments like, I like to play in front of crowds and there's no crowds here. Like, if you told me that was true, I'd be like, that's blocky. If you said someone made that up to make fun of blocky, I'd be like, that adds up too. So I don't even know what I'm reading about this thing. Other than the most egregious part of the report, in my opinion, is that he walked off mid-round without even shaking hands or telling his playing partners what was going on. He just left. He just walked away.
I don't have the same vitriol for Michael Block that apparently a lot of people. Why do people not like Michael Block so much? Is it because he gets attention?
Yeah, I mean, you almost got to give him credit for turning like a club pro into a guy that's like the 20th most recognizable golfer on earth. Like, in some ways, you have to admire that. It seemed like it started to turn when he made he had that great success and then he made the comment about like if we could drive like Rory. And I don't know where it turned. I don't know. If you're watching this show, you obviously understand why the networks glommed that week and sometimes continue to glom. Like, it's not a hard thing to figure out.
No, I understand that part of it. I understand the story that goes along with it, but I just don't get why people viscerally dislike. Is he just a bad guy?
I think he should have more. I think the thing is, most of the hate is from him being too cocky. Maybe if there was like a Family Feud thing, we surveyed 100 golf fans, and here are the top 6 reasons everyone hates Michael Block. I think if I rang the buzz, I'd say too cocky. I think.
That would be fun, actually. We should do that. We should get the audience, and I'll ask them some questions about like who is the best golfer under 25 or something like that, and then we can play Family Feud with it.
Maybe we do have I don't know. Football's the off season. That's like gonna say like in football season, whatever. It's a project, but it's actually a pretty good idea.
Let's throw that into the coffer right there.
Put it in the okay. We'll be quick here. I think. I saw this morning that the WTGL adding another team. I guess no surprise. Boston's in. There's no way the WTGL is going to work. There's no way. There's just no way. I don't know how, like, I get they're trying to maximize profits and they see an opportunity to like sell these franchises or something. It makes no sense to me. In a co-ed version, it would slap. It would slap. But they're like, why do co-ed? We could maximize, we could, squeeze this for more. I hate to say it. I think it's going to like, I don't want to say an embarrassment, but I think it's going to I think it's just, there's no way this thing takes off. The TGL's hard enough.
I'm just guessing it's not going to cost them all that much more to run it, and it's content during a season in which there's not a ton of content going on for specific networks.
Those are both fair points.
That would be my guess, but maybe it needs to have some cultural, social commentary on it, like the WNBA, so it can be in the news every day. Just be a lightning rod, and people will continue to talk about you. It's like the Poochie effect. When Poochie is not on screen, Geoff, the other characters need to be asking, where's Poochie? That's the WNBA right now. I hear about it every day. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, that's the thing about the WNBA. It's like if you're online, people you can't have an opinion on. Like you don't like it, you don't watch it. You can't have an opinion on it. And I'm like,
really? Because I'm pretty sure that most of these people who are commenting on the NBA have never seen a second of the WNBA.
But my point being is that it's literally, it'd be like telling someone who doesn't like soccer who's perpetually online that they can't have an opinion about the World Cup. I'm sorry. It is everywhere. It is in my face. I saw a reel of a Bill Simmons clip. He pretty much called the WNBA is turned into the For You page.
It's just great. Maybe that's where all the LIV bots went. They went to the WNBA.
And I got 2 daughters. I think a successful, healthy women's basketball league is great for society. It's like a plus. It's a plus. Society is better with a healthy women's basketball league. I don't know. I think this, let me be Geoff the Lib for 20 seconds. I promise. I think this current, and I've been making fun of the league before this current big issue, but on this big issue, I'm actually on the side of it's been so overblown by the worst people because yes, Sophie made comments. An activist coach or two made a comment. One player. The league as a, I don't know. It's all coming from the outside. But the league has been captured and I guess it needs better leadership and the commissioner sucks. But I think what's happened is kind of unfair because people are making it like the whole league is talking about this thing. When no, I don't think the league is relative to the amount of people in the league. You have one player, one coach, one other player, not, it's for the most part, not players aren't talking about it. They're not. So let them talk. I don't know. It's so stupid.
I said the people who don't watch the league, they got opinions on the league. None of it has.
I'll defend those people. Because it's hard to not have opinions on the league when the league is everywhere. Unfortunately, not for the best reasons. You can't avoid I'm a sports fan. I can't avoid the league in the same way, Pat, that I live in Canada. I don't give a shit for the most part about the NHL, but I love sports so much and I'm online a lot where I'm going to, and I live in Canada. That's the key to that. I can't avoid the league.
I can.
And to me, I'm getting that vibe from a women's basketball league. So that, I don't know, man.
I find it pretty easy to avoid hockey. I really won't lie to you on that. I just don't hear about it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I live in Toronto and this team and my friends. It's harder for me. Just
your friends, maybe, but it's not like I didn't live there for over a decade. It never really came across I never came across it. I didn't actively go look for it. It was never pushed to my face because whatever I was looking at that didn't feed me that.
I guess,
Are
but
you-
you know me, like I like listening to talk radio and stuff. So I mean, now it's just podcasts. So you're right. I can avoid it more now that I can curate my life better on the road, on the roads. But yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, I'll say I can't avoid it.
To swing back for a moment, with Brennan winning, that's a third consecutive winner under 25 years old, American players at the same time. So it really worked out well for the 3M, the Wyndham, and the Rocket Classic, as you mentioned, this dead part of the schedule. Essentially had the optimal outcome for what I would guess that interest is. Even Ben James playing well too. No one, maybe I missed it because I don't want to say no one. I'm sure that the case has been made that it was Koivu needs to be on the President's Cup team. We need to get him reps. He's going to be great. Thorbjornsen, he probably needs to be on too. Is anyone making that case for Brennan? Because out of them, Brennan may have had the best year.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like 2 weeks later, maybe some of the Koivu stuff, from myself included, was a bit hyperbolic, but I believe what I believe. And I could tell you I wouldn't hate bringing all of them.
Well,
Because
the difference
I
is,
believe this President's Cup just is an opportunity to do that. And Snedeker made these comments I want to say it was early last week. It almost reminded me of the comments that were made about like Caitlin Clark going back to the WNBA before the last Olympics that they left her off of. It was like the vibe I got listening to Snedeker talk about it. And in defense of Snedeker, he is simply not, he's not, if you're like named captain of the President's Cup team without giving a mandate, like you are AAA to the Ryder Cup, you are doing everything you can to win, because the most embarrassing thing that could happen in your life is you not win that. And even winning it by a point or two would be bad for your brand, your personal brand, or your ego, or your life, like embarrassing. So in defense of Snedeker, he's kind of in a really tough spot because he in his mind, he just wants as many points as possible. Getting guys into team rooms is not his mandate. It's not his mandate.
okay.
Well, like that's just the.
I thought you had like the afterwards to that. You just kind of stopped.
Well, no, it's just not his mandate to have to worry about like making sure the Ryder Cup team is like good in 2-4 years. Or good's the wrong word. Like even a 0.004 leg up. Like that's not the job. His job is to not have the most embarrassing thing happen in modern golf. The only person who wouldn't find it embarrassing is Tim.
So
because he would think it was predictable.
Tim, before we recorded the Custies last night, and we recorded a football show for tomorrow as well last night. So when he showed up, we were the end of the Wyndham was going on. It was like fucking Brendan, just being down in the dumps about Brendan. I wore Velcro shoes, so I was at no danger to myself after missing out on the bet. But he was like, well, how did that guy from Chinese Taipei do? I was like, Kevin Yu? He's like, yeah, Kevin Yu. I was like, well, I was hoping he put in a good finish, so maybe he could be on the President's Cup team. I was like, you don't even know who these fucking people are anymore that you want to put on the team. That you've basically guaranteed is going to win. I think he'd be good on the team. It's like maybe he thinks that the internationals can bring 35 guys and they can play like a scramble together against the Americans.
I don't know what he thinks, but as we recap the year, internationals winning the President's Cup is just, it's after hearing all the craziest stuff, reminded of all the craziest stuff he said in the last year, kind of works, kind of plays.
So I think Sung Jae has now played 2 good events in a row. Not that he's finished well, but like his stats don't look bad. That might be enough to get him on the team.
I think he's on the team anyway.
I don't know, man. He's been terrible for 2 years.
But they don't have the bodies to not take him.
He's played well at this tournament in the past too. Just looking at his history here, he's got a couple high finishes, including last year when he still couldn't gain on approach whatsoever. Oh yeah, almost broke even on approach last week. Gained at the Rocket. Kid's back.
Well, I'd say 100, 110 to 1.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be betting Sung Jae on this. Maybe he's a first round leader. Like, they're going to have to take Jason Day, who just missed the FedEx Cup playoffs.
Yeah, of course. I think Jason Day was even like using a present. Was it him? I think he had a. I don't know.
Are his pants getting bigger? They look like flags at this point.
So that's what we could talk about briefly before we move on to the next. The did you catch any of the silent broadcast?
I did. I loved it.
I know there's like a low-hanging fruit joke about like golf broadcasts being shitty, which is kind of not fair because I think this could play in like anything. It was amazing, right? It was amazing.
I can see, listen, we're going to enjoy it because we know what's going on, and that's sort of the interactions that we're looking for. I could see how that could be so isolating for someone who, like, I don't know what that guy looks like. I don't know who I'm watching. Like, there's that part of it too, that some people need their handheld a little bit. I would say the majority of people do. That's why the CBS and NBC broadcasts are how they are. But as an alternative for people who like that sort of thing, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it. I didn't watch much, but like just in like watching 10-minute windows, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Did you see the shot link camera that they had to use for the Davis Thompson Albatross because they didn't have it on like actual camera?
Nope, I didn't see it.
So if you afterwards, everyone should go do this. Go to the PGA Tour like X site. They have it up there. It looks really weird. Like it's like a RoboCam, I think, and it just kind of like moves back and forth, or it's a really wide shot. Something about it, but it looks good enough that if you just patch me into all these shot link cameras, I could make a broadcast out of it. I know I could.
I believe you. I think you could get a show out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cameras on every hole with every player. They don't look awesome. I don't care about. Would you care if you had the ability?
It's like stage 1 shot tracking.
Yeah, essentially, it's like watching shot tracker, but you actually get to see the stuff. It just looks a bit choppy.
Yeah, no, I agree. If I'm into it, if I've got a guy or a bet, that's the sort of stuff that I'm happy with. I'm satisfied. Our expectations, our tolerance is so much lower than I think they believe, but they put their brand on something. They're big 3 letters, 4 letters. It has to have like a certain visual quality or something, right? Like that's what it's just all about for them.
No, I agree. You're completely right that they don't want to have some sort of hack product, but they're trying to do all these. Listen, as someone who benefits a lot from the gambling world and gambling sponsorships, is it any more hack than when they have 3 separate sportsbook sponsors throughout the course of the show and they get these commentators to read off the live odds having no idea what any of these odds mean? Like that seems pretty hack to me too at the same time.
100%. It's also pretty hack. Like the kid built the graphics 7 minutes ago. 4 guys have made or missed putts. Like when they show it, it's already. I've got again. Like I will allow wiggle room for what, but like they're showing like a 15-minute old odds board too when they do it in the broadcast. Like
I like when they talk about the value bets on the board. Those are always my favorite. 5 times your money on Davis Riley. He's only 3 back.
Oh boy.
They should get our buddy Camera 2 Drew, who is essentially the best golf bettor that I can ever remember in my life. The amount of money he lost on SJ Kim because he like was 2 under after 2 holes and leading the tournament. I gotta bet that guy. Live bets.
Drew would be served in not looking at Thursdays.
Yes.
Okay, we made it. We made it through the regular season. Holy shit. Okay.
30 weeks later, I thought we were going to get Tom Kim. The only collapse that I was hoping for was if Brennan like truly collapsed and Hostler collapsed and then Ben James won. That I would have been okay with. But with the way that it turned out, I'm very glad, even though I didn't bet on him, that Michael Brennan won and not Beau Hostler. That's my final take of the Wyndham. And I like the Wyndham Championship. I like that course. I got some inside info on, because Wyndham's done as the sponsor. Did you know that?
I didn't.
So they're done. That's why the Chamber of Commerce of North Carolina said that they would start putting up money to make sure that the Wyndham is a championship series event, which I think is a very...
that I saw, I was impressed by that.
Yeah, because the Wyndham is out as the sponsor. My little birdies tell me Raymond James might be coming on as a sponsor. They may be redoing the entire greens at Sedgefield to make sure that it gets included in this championship series, which
Yeah.
I don't understand why they would redo the greens because they are seemingly some of the best greens on tour.
Yeah, I don't know much. I can't speak to that, but I like hearing that, and I was impressed that the local commerce know it's an important little thing they got, and let's keep it around. And if we've got to chip in a bit, we want to do that. So I'm impressed.
FedEx St. Jude Championship. It's TPC Southwind. It's in Memphis. I was there a year ago. I like the course. Redone greens a year ago, so they're probably going to be a little bit softer this time around. They were pretty firm last year. The big thing that stood out to me a year ago being on the grounds, and we'll have to see how they manage the rough this time around, but just the ball disappears in this rough. It's crazy. Like sometimes you could after playing the Pro-Am, there were still balls in the rough that were out there that people just simply could not find.
Always a fun one. Hot.
Yes.
Sweaty pants.
Don't talk to Glover and Robert Garrigus about that.
Like unconscious hot, where I even feel like they have a hard time selling tickets. It's so hot.
We were doing a broadcast. It was by the long par 3. I think it was 14 or 15, the one that goes over the water. We had like a tent set up, but then there was just a random lightning storm, and we were in the middle of this like metal tent the entire time. I don't think I've ever seen so much rain over a 30-minute period. It was crazy. And then the course was fine the next day.
And this was obviously Tommy blew the Travelers to Keegan. He blew this one to Rose, right?
He blew this one to Rose and Spawn. I was sitting there trying to will my JJ Spawn bet across the finish line. My neighbor, Justin Rose, beat him in the playoff.
Now that we're staring at the odds, I am pretty surprised Tommy seems to never go backwards.
People must continue to... The fact that he's above Fitzpatrick on the odds board just continues to wig me out.
I get he had a nice run here last year and played well and almost won, but he was in such different form last year. Is a different player. And this bit that I've sort of done this year, Pat, of really making mean comments about Tommy has not worked. It hasn't worked. I our major shows. I've intentionally tried to railroad him, and it doesn't work. So maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm not thinking about betting him. I'd like him to win, but I'm just surprised that, he's a course fit, but it doesn't feel like it's been there. Doesn't feel like it's been there at all for him this year.
No, but guys can get off the schneid because Xander's now back down to 15-1. Go to coolbet.com, by the way, if you want some odds. He's 16-1 at Coolbet. Like that. Listen, it was at the Rocket, so who knows? But it seems like his game is coming. It's a terrible time to do this. But if Xander just ran train through the playoffs, it wouldn't super stun me.
Not at all.
He's 20-1. Look at that.
So I don't mean to put you on the spot. And I don't even know if you could research. Well, you could.
Hit me.
I know there's a couple, but I guess Glover even won the Wyndham, so that would even not count. These recent last 3, 4, 5 years, do people win these FedEx Cup events who haven't been playing well? It seems like everyone that's won these, even if they hadn't won, like Tommy, he was playing so well that, he won an event. I guess Hideki a couple years ago won this a bit out of the clouds, but for the most part, the form guys I feel like have won these FedEx Cup events.
I would tend to agree. That's one thing that I was looking at. I'm trying to go back and try to find what year did Hideki win? 2024. Yeah, and Hideki came off a third at the Olympics and then won this event. But he had been
I don't remember when the Olympics was relative to this.
2 weeks before.
Okay, so he was even there. He was already warming up. Just seems like everyone that wins these FedEx Cup events have really been playing nice golf leading in. Some of them nice golf for a while coming into it. So I am not expecting to pick someone who's just been a dead fish.
Well, at the top, Scotty's the favorite. He's 5-1. He was actually a stroke out of the playoff last year. I think people forget that. He made a bit of a charge on Sunday. Rory is playing this event, which he didn't play last year. He's 11-1 right now, or 10-1. Then you got Xander, Fleetwood, Burns all at 20, Fitz, Cam Young at 21, Ludvig, Morikawa, and then Goddard up 23, 26, and 30th. I'm just going to bet Sam Burns. I haven't been a part of the Sam Burns train at all, but he lost in the playoff to Answer here. I think it was Answer. Maybe he lost the Hideki or whatever one it was. He kind of fits that theory. He's been playing really good golf. He hasn't won. He's played well at this course before. Really tiny greens. Get the putter hot. The approach play's been really good. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, South guy, LSU, Heat. I know, like, that's a corny ad, but he's very comfortable here. So I'm just adding to your point. I'm pretty confident it was Answer. I don't think Hideki played in a playoff. I think he got away. He cleared these people.
Oh, he did. He was up by a ton going into the final round, and then he gave it all back, and then he rallied back. I remember I bet on Hideki that week, so I vividly remember him choking it and then making one really long birdie putt, and it kind of got his round back together. But he won by 2, and he was even par in the final round. He won at -17.
Has Rory ever played here? When's the last time he played here?
Last time Rory played here, I have no idea.
Why do you think? I guess it's just been a long time, right? It's just been too long of a hiatus. Because my question would be, why is he here? Time to play golf again.
Yeah, just hasn't played in a while.
Yeah,
he hasn't played since the Open, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, we saw Scotty play, we saw Cam play a ton, we've seen Xander play, Fitz play, Morikawa, Ludvig, but a lot of guys really haven't played. Maybe I'm being too generous there. Maybe it's really just like Tommy and Rory.
Rory. Well, Ludvig last played at the Open. He didn't play in Minnesota or Detroit.
So yeah, add Ludvig, add Victor.
Last year was the only year that Rory took off of this event, by the way. He played in 2024, 2023, 2022, and 2021.
See, this Cust anti-Rory propaganda, I guess, got in. Yeah, good. Good for you, Rory. Do what you want, Rory supporter. My first bet's going to be a little higher than you mentioned.
I have 2 bets in so far. One is Burns, one is Victor.
That's me.
Yeah. Victor's been a good playoff guy.
Good playoff guy. Seemed like he's just pin stalking. At that number, you play the ceiling. It wasn't hard. It was actually like it. I don't want to say it like leapt off the page, but on my first glances, that was definitely one that stood out right away.
Yeah, the driver can get a bit wonky, which can sink you at this course, obviously, but he has gained pretty substantially on approach in every tournament since the middle of May, and every time that he's actually made a few putts, he's come first or third. He's gained strokes putting in 2 of his past 6 tournaments, and the ones where he gained putting in, he gained enough, and he won and came third. Good enough for me. Show up with your A game and win.
And I guess just going backwards for a moment, you're eyeing Burns. I don't know, like Fitz, even Morikawa, someone I might, swim around a bit this week before I make a final decision.
Morikawa came up on the Custies. I wanted better. I would have bet Ludvig if he had a better number.
What?
Like 24, 25 is the best I'm seeing.
No, you'll get better. I see. Shit, I can't play those sites. 27.
Oh, I want at least a 3 there.
I think there might have been some opening 3s. I slept on those, unfortunately.
Anyone else?
I mean, this is a dumb question, but like, how should we be treating Scotty? Like, do you even consider that?
Like at 5,
I don't even care. Like in the season, I like building cards. If you told me I just bet Scotty, I never do it. But I don't feel like I'd be missing the fun of building a card because I don't like that task, as I've taken a few glances at the board and made a bet already.
I'm not going to bet him at 5-1. No, like it worked for 2.5 years betting him at these ridiculous numbers, but he's been just a taker. It's been great that they continue to list him at 5-1 because it's actually made some of the other guys pretty substantial. I don't know if do I just go like Xander, Burns, Victor? There's my week, or do I go Burns, Victor, and then go down below? Like we've seen, listen, Lucas Glover reeled off the Wyndham and FedEx back-to-back. Cam Young was very much in the mix last year after winning the Wyndham. Is Michael Brennan a look here? He's playing good golf.
Yeah, it could be a look. I don't know that I'm going to get there, but I thought about it for Bjornsson too.
That's interesting. I'm just looking.
I don't think I'll actually get there on any of them. I'd like to think the big boys are going to just put the kids table to the side for a couple of weeks here.
But we haven't seen that at this tournament. Like the past 4 winners since it moved to this course: Rose, Hideki, Glover, and Zalatoris. Just like mid guys, all pretty good odds coming into the tournament. Like none of the favorites have won. Is Seb Straka hurt?
I don't know, man. No comment. I don't know what's going on there.
I have no idea what's happening with him.
So I guess it is like okay, so let's look at, based on what you just said, 40 to 60, excellent form. Who is it? It's Brennan, who's even higher. Like, that's the answer.
Brennan or Gerard?
Yeah, Brennan, Gerard,
Thorbjornsen.
Henley had the putter trouble. Has Henley like actually cooled off, or just
who?
Henley's gone so cold. Is it over there?
Henley was hot at some point.
He was consistent.
Yeah, if you need a backdoor top 10, he's your man. He won the Schwab. He's been like okay, but 20th at the Rocket, 9th at the Open, 12th at the Travelers. Maybe you're onto something with him.
I mean, like,
his putter has been hot too. I mean, that's kind of the reason that he has these top end finishes.
I don't know what I would have guessed yesterday if you asked me what Koivin's odds would have been, but I think I would have guessed higher than 40.
40 is a pretty reasonable number.
Probably, but I would have guessed higher. I don't know if that means like if it was 50, I'd have bet it. So I don't want to get myself into that headspace either.
Let's see here. Total driving, who's been the best? Not Eric Cole. That I'll tell you.
Like, who is like down this board in really nice form? I don't know, Alex, but I'm not betting him to win.
Alex Fitzpatrick, the guy who just missed the cut at the Wyndham. What about Woodland?
No,
you're just out on Woodland.
I don't see myself betting anyone here to win.
Akshay,
but I don't have like enough bodies to fill a card either.
That's okay. You don't have to. Akshay,
I agree.
Akshay was first round leader here a year ago, or he just fell to Harry Hull. I can't remember. I lost on one of those guys as first round leader, and they were playing with each other, and their playing partner ended up as first round leader, and they came in second because I lost the head to head matchup with them too. But he has 2 finishes here. I think they're both inside the top 10. And he's been like bad recently. That was the thing. What about Jake Knapp? He really
I don't mind that one.
He let me down at the Rocket. He missed the cut, but I feel like it just overall, his approach play got a bit shaky. But overall, his like driving's been really good. His approach play's been really good, and now his number is back to a reasonable point. He's not 30 to 1 anymore. He's back to like 70 to 1 or 80 to 1 or 90 to 1. It's not like people are going to be lining up to bet Jake Knapp this week.
I mean, obviously it's become a playoff event, so like good players have won. But thinking about that, I know Tommy wasn't in the playoff. It was like Rose, Tommy, Spawn. Like that is just is that like the player type for me? Or that,
just
should
even
be looking for more of here.
Even think about someone like Abraham Answer. Like I feel like he is the JJ Spawn type. Corey Connors would be, if Corey Connors was playing reasonable golf, he would be a guy that you could easily go to here.
So we haven't mentioned him. What about Tom Kim?
He had one bad round. I think it's okay. Everyone's going to have bad
rounds.
Like,
we're trying to identify the guy between 40 and 60 in great form outside of the super kid Brennan at the moment. I guess there's a few super kids in this range. Aside from the Teen Bop magazine, well, Kim's also pretty young. I'm just stepping over myself here. Tom Kim might be the answer to the question I asked a couple minutes ago.
So he's got progressively worse every time that he's played here. He obviously didn't make the playoffs last year. T13, T24, and T50. He lost a bunch off the tee the last time. He's gained on approach every single time. He had a really bad go, but that was towards the last time that he played here was kind of at the like swoon of Tom Kim. And it took him an entire year to kind of get it back. So I'm not too concerned about that. What I would be very bullish on here is that he has now gained a lot of strokes on approach in every event since Myrtle Beach, which was in May. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight events. He's gained off the tee in 3 of 4, which was kind of his bugaboo. His chipping is either amazing or slightly bad. That's kind of the range that you want to be in. And I mean, the putter is either hot or it's cold. The last week, I mean, he putted well again last week. And he came in 5th. And really, he probably should have ended up winning that tournament if he doesn't have like a mental lapse for 5 holes in the middle of the final round. I think he might be onto something here. I think just go back to Tom Kim. He's basically Siwoo who can putt sometimes.
I would argue, I mean, maybe Siwoo too.
Yeah, you pass on that.
Okay. A day trade Siwoo, then you could sell him off before the week.
I don't bet like that. Have you ever bet like that?
No, I'm just making a joke. I used to make it with Detry. You could day trade Detry like to perfection. I don't know how you could actually do it, but
what's the best Tom Kim number you see? 40 is the best I see.
I could get you better for sure.
Would I have to parlay it with Argentinian D3 soccer?
It depends what website it's on. Yeah, you might, but it's a 55.
That's a 55?
Yeah, I might be nice to you. I could let you bake it. Usually they let me get in a little on one thing.
Yeah, I would take the 55 on Tom Kim. What's the Hovland number then?
39.
Oh, that's an even better Hovland number.
Or I'll tell you where that one is, but I'm seeing a 39, and that's dropped as like 42, I think, when I woke up.
I'll get that boosted up at Coolbet. It's 35 at Coolbet, so I can get it boosted up, I think.
Yeah.
That's really where I'm at. I'm trying to think of that prototype of player that you were talking about. Let's see here. Off the tee plus like reasonable accuracy. I mean, Schauffele is the ultimate version of that guy. Keegan didn't make the playoffs. Keegan is usually that guy. Honestly, Woodland fits that mold. Like Woodland's been accurate and he gains a bunch with distance. Like that's the cheat code here. He's really good with his wedges. He's had a terrible Open Championship. He was T10. Like he was playing well into Sunday at the 3M.
I'm just
Koiven, Fleetwood, your boy Jordan Smith. I'm not going to bet on that guy to win anything, but if you wanted to be like top 10, that would track.
Yeah, he's playing well. Jordan Smith won a great head-to-head for me versus Harris English last week.
Aaron Rye, if he had been in any sort of form, should be good here. How has he played at St. Jude in the past?
I'm seeing one book, Pat, has... I'm trying to find if other books have it, just so if I could compare, but they don't. Odds to win the FedEx Cup. You want a Xander number?
Yeah, what is... I bet you Xander would be 20-1, maybe?
Unfortunately, not. There's nothing too great here. 16.
I mean, I'd rather just bet him this week at 16 to win then.
Yeah. Like Scotty's 330, Rory 810. I guess they feel you got to be like a real sicko.
What are Michael Brennan's odds to win the FedEx Cup?
Michael Brennan.
I always say this because if he can get himself to the Tour Championship, he has just shown an excellent propensity to win at Donald Ross courses and play well at Donald Ross courses. And Eastlake, another Donald Ross course.
You know, I don't see him.
Unlisted.
Honestly, unlisted, which is a sign. I swear to you, Thorb's like all the other guys are here. He's not here.
Well, it's probably because he played himself in last week. He wasn't in the playoffs until he won last. He needed to come first or second, and he came first.
You're probably right. I think that's a good tell.
Who has the best form coming in? I was trying to find those guys. The high accuracy, high off the... Where's Rose at with something like this? What's Rose been up to?
Tom Kim's form is... Rose is 60.
He hasn't really done much.
Siwoo at 35. Holy shit, that's a tough swallow.
But he's been so good that they have to keep him there, because if you just bet the top 10 market on Siwoo, it feels like he'd be doing pretty well.
Yeah.
How many top 10s do you think he has this year?
8. That might be too high.
10.
Oh, not high enough. I have a really embarrassing guy I'm going to throw out.
Bo Hostler's not in the tournament.
It's almost, it might be, it's pretty embarrassing. Off that, couldn't hit the putt at the Rocket. Can't lay. It's only 33 though.
Like, I'd rather bet Victor at a bigger number.
Yeah, of course.
I'd
But
rather,
I would
rather bet
I
Tom
would
Kim.
bet I would bet Cantlay to win at essentially the same price as Siwoo over Siwoo.
Sure. To win? Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They both can't win.
Fair.
It's weird that Siwoo became a guy who couldn't win and became like an uber consistent top 10 guy. Did not have that in the cards for Siwoo Kim.
Yeah, he started his career as Ricky Bobby.
Is there anyone from down this list? Wrighton? Yeah, Woodland's really the only one who leaps out. Alex Fitzpatrick at 100-1. I know it's kind of turned for him. Maybe his run is over, but at least I know he can hit fairways.
Yeah, on this course, I'm not betting it, but I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I thought his odds were way lower. But yeah, Tom Kim. Burns. Yeah, so let's do quick picks. Quick picks for the St. Jude. Burns at 22, Victor at 39, and Tom Kim at 55, you said?
Yeah.
Those will be the three main ones that I'm going with here.
See what the other Mark Tom Kim prices are.
I mean, Tom Kim's as low as 35-1 in some places, so I'm guessing 55 is the best number.
Yeah, 55 is the best. Bunch of 45, 50s and 45s are out there though. So either way, even at like 50, 45, I might like it.
I bet you that number will be gone soon enough.
I'll take Victor and Tom Kim.
Did you make that Tom Kim bet for me?
I will make it for you.
Thank you. One and done. One of the last big one and dones. Should probably bring up the list here. Cust has not given me a pick, although he is almost out of it. Let's see here. Post Wyndham one and done. What do you think the standings are? That's really, really small. Too small for me to read.
Post Wyndham one and done standings. I don't know. I'm losing to probably by a little under $1 million or $1 million, probably.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, there's 1.2 million between you and I, and the next two events, the last two events for the one and done, are the biggest ones. I used Ryan Gerard last week. He had $0. Cust has not made a pick. You used Tom Kim, who came in 5th, so that ended up working out well for you. Cust doesn't even have 7 million, so he needs to win. He needs a win, or he's done. He hasn't even made a pick yet. So I'll update the cheat sheet in the description once Cust makes it. I'll text him right now to ask him to make a pick. I'm going to use Sam Burns because I haven't yet.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. Have I used Xander? Probably.
Patrick, no.
Xander.
You. So this is the first time I think Cust has ever picked last. Watch him pick someone that we've picked now.
He loses. We give him that right, but it expires like at the end of our show.
Correct. Yeah. And then once we get to the one and done section, he hasn't sent me a pick. All bets are off.
Like, we're kind enough to let him be first every week, regardless of previous outcome. But at some point, no, he goes last. So he's going last this week.
Yeah. Ryan Gerard does not have you.
He'll probably take Brennan.
He may have used. Oh, he just instantly texted. I haven't used Rory yet. I'll play him.
Okay.
Has he used Rory? He's already used Rory. He used Rory at the API.
Oh, didn't Rory withdraw from the API?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was after the player.
No, he did, but it was during the tournament. So
yeah.
$0. If the guy tees off and plays for 2 rounds, he withdrew after 2 rounds.
Yeah, I couldn't remember because next year the API is after the players. I got mixed up on what. Yeah, apparently their MasterCard's pissed about that.
I would be pissed about that too. Where's the Valspar on the schedule then? I didn't even realize the 2027 schedule was out.
Maybe I'm lying then.
I thought that was for, let's see. The Florida swing. Yeah, you're right. It is.
And MasterCard's contract's up in 2 years, so it's interesting that they're pissing them off.
They put Doral the week before. They're gonna go signature event, players signature event. That's fucking stupid.
Horrible. Fuck that.
Oh, now he wants to take Ludvig.
Okay. Hope he wins.
Yeah, that works. Ludvig for Cust.
All right, a lot of big game hunting with the one and dones.
He was even able. So we talk about this more on the Custies when he only, when he just attacks people with lisps, as we went through last night. But he was able to text Aberg, but with the A with the O above it. I don't know how he knows how to do that.
I think if you just hold the letter down.
I know how to do it. I'm shocked he knows how to do it.
Fair play.
The Custies was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Geez. Some of it, on my end, some embarrassing results potentially, but we got to live and move on.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, let's see. Fenway's. Oh, is this what you were talking about? Are you on that because we went to TGL? You get those emails?
So I get the man. Yes.
Yeah, Fenway Sports Group expands sports portfolio with acquisition of WTGL team. How much do you think they cost him? $50,000? Could we buy a WTGL team?
I would just okay. Do you think the women are always going to play right after the men? They'll be on the same nights back to back? Because there's no way women's TGL is getting those spots after a Duke basketball game on ESPN on a Monday in January and February, right? There's no way.
I don't know. Maybe they'll play on different nights.
Because the one thing the TGL, it's popcorn TV. It's fine, whatever. But the thing it does have going for it is they're smart enough to put it on after big college basketball games.
I thought they put it on before that stuff.
Both then. Some before, some after. But I just remember, college basketball lead in or coming off of, that was the sort of thing that, I don't want to say propelled it, but it was in a great spot.
Do you think they fixed the betting after they brought us down to be consultants?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know what they could have fixed. I think they just wanted some opinions, but I don't even know what they could take from that and implement, to be honest.
I had ideas.
Yes, you did.
They were not super keen on my ideas. No one's ever super keen on my ideas. It just seems like it's a lot of work for them to do, and then they're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, they're not getting it. Yeah, they're like, I'm getting paid the same to do all the. Yeah,
I'm getting paid the same to do nothing. I'll just do nothing.
But I thought the people there are my knocking how I think the WTGL will work. It's my one takeaway that could supersede all of it. It's a first class operation there. The people who are behind these teams and behind that league are very serious players. Things just don't fail. But I wonder how much good money they'll throw after a bad idea after a little bit.
Well, what they need to do, because I like your idea of the co-ed teams, but I don't know if the co-ed teams work if there's no sexual tension between them, because I think that's the next level to this, that maybe they need to do a partnership with Love Island. That one of the things to stay on Love Island is you have to go play at TGL to bring more exposure to it. And then you can see people fighting with each other because they're not playing well, but they're also trying to hook up in that stadium. That's the next level of this, I think, because it's basically just a giant production studio. You can shoot TV in there very easily.
Oh, buddy, they filmed a wrestling AEW pay-per-view in there.
That I wouldn't have done. I would have passed on that.
I agree, but it's a real deal studio. That's for sure. American Gladiators events could go in there.
You know what? That's true. They could. American Gladiators back.
That is sort of what I, being older now and seeing that, that's what I picture really all American Gladiators was maybe just a bit bigger.
Oh, I thought the American Gladiators would be smaller. I think you can fit way more people into the TGL stadium.
Okay, maybe, but just these like things that are sort of like industrial warehouses that are just like soundstage studios.
Yeah. That's all American Gladiators was.
And again, you come out of the TGL building after being in it for like 3 hours. It felt like I was in a nightclub or a strip club, like breathing fresh air. It like smacks you in the face.
It was so hot when we were there too, versus what we had been like. I was so amped up when I did the show with Keith because I flew in that morning and just I was so cold when I left here and it was so hot when I got there. It was awesome. I'm sick of people. It's been like very hot the past week here. And I get that, some people don't love the heat. I don't want to be on the golf course with you if you're complaining about how fucking hot it is when we live in a climate where you can only golf for 6 months a year. Like, leave me with that. Say, you know what? If you don't like it being hot out, don't come to the fucking golf course.
Yeah, I would say it's like okay to like complain or make the comment, but once you're in there, like once you decide to accept the tee time, you can't be out there like bitching about it.
And if it's so hard to walk, go get a fucking cart.
What? Exactly.
Like, you don't need to sit here and just beak all day about how goddamn hot it is. I wish it was hotter. You're not hearing me complain that it's too cold.
Cart the back. I have only walked a few times this year, like with guests. I'll they like a cart, so I'll take a cart. I've really upped the walking. Obviously had a minor incident with the wheel, but everything's okay. But I've decided, Pat, like the optimal golf experience is when you are walking, but there is a cart in the group.
Yeah, you've mentioned this to me. I don't interact with the cart all that much. I very rarely play if I'm walking. Very rarely do I play with someone who's driving in a cart. It's usually 4 walkers or 3 walkers, or if there's a cart, everyone just kind of paired up in a cart.
Yeah, the cart in the group, I really, it is like the optimal. It's optimal. It's optimal. Needless to say, there's a point this year where I had a couple of guests who like I was walking and they're like, "You're just shaming us." I'm like, "No, you guys are getting a cart. I'm having my optimal. I'm walking. You guys are carting. I need this cart here."
Do you find it's that hard to like access your things if there's no cart driving around?
I like just, say, listen, I have nice push carts with even or push carts or even, I'm on the full season remote caddy package where I paid like $400 at the start of the year. You could say that's a lot. I get the
Why didn't you just buy your own cart then?
Because you're not allowed.
What?
They had an incident. They made a new rule. I told you this. Some people weren't happy, but it's just the reality of the situation. There wasn't enough. You could have your own. You just have to lug it and like keep it in your car and bring it out. They won't store them for you because what happened was essentially, they started to run out of space. They started to run out of space and more people wanted to have them and they didn't have the space for them. But maybe the bigger problem was that you have, let's just say you have 100 and different ones that are there. 60 of them are different with different brands and different batteries. And then you're holding like some 18-year-old responsible for your thing not being plugged in, which may or may not have been their fault. But what they did is they just uniformly got like a swarm of the exact same ones. And you can rent them. That's just how it works. So you can sign up for the full season package and they're good ones, obviously. And that upset a lot of people, people that had them or people that had potentially even recently bought one. So that was a big deal. But, the club had to make a decision. That was the decision that they made. But here's the other part, Pat. I'm not you. I don't like go for runs in Vegas in the morning. I'm a fat fuck who's enjoying his walks. But I tell you, maybe you give me, I got that remote cart, so I could just press my button. My cart can follow. But I just, maybe there's like on that 16th hole, like I just need a ride. I need a ride because I got to finish this thing. So, yeah, I appreciate that cart there. Nice carts. You get the coolers, easy storage for things. Although I'm upgrading my bag. I've had the same bag for like 15 years. I don't own anything that I use as long as I've used my golf bag. Sun Mountain. This bag was amazing, Pat. It was amazing. The fact it still lasts and is navy and yellow, and it fit a lot of my kits because I'm a San Diego Charger guy. And I think having like a bag that's like officially NFL Chargers is super corny, but I just like the color scheme. So I didn't want to lose it. And I finally, I'm that being said, you'd think after all these years and how sturdy and stable and great that bag was, I'd go back to Sun Mountain. I'm a fancy boy now. I'm getting myself a vessel. That I decided that. So no, yeah, maybe I won't need the cart in their pockets, but I got like a 16-year-old golf bag. The towel on my golf bag, because it matches and I'll wash it regularly, is the 2013 Canadian Open, where that's the Canadian Open that Snedeker won because Mahan left to have a baby up a touchdown.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was at Glen
Abbey.
Was it Glen Abbey? I thought it was at I thought it was
my
at
golf
Angus Glen.
towel. It's my golf towel. It's Glen Abbey.
Who won the year they had it at Angus Glen then?
I don't remember.
Jim Furyk.
What year was Angus Glen?
Jim Furyk won it.
That adds up. Yeah. I don't know. I just sometimes maybe it's like a hot day, you're at the tee box, a couple, minutes of a seat and shade. Again, I like it doesn't happen a lot. You're right. Usually, as a group we'll go the same and it's been walking. But when there's a cart in the group, it's almost like having a caddy. It's all I need the caddy for. It's better than I'd rather have someone driving a cart while I walk than a caddy.
Okay.
I've never played with a caddy before, though.
Ever? I mean, it's
once.
It's really strange to me that your course doesn't have caddies. It
We
seems
do.
Like, you've just in your entire life you've never had one?
I think maybe you could think this is a weird thing to say. I would feel so fucking awkward having someone like walk with me carrying my shit. Like, I don't like that social dynamic to me is unsettling.
That's their job. That's what they get paid to do. They want to do that.
It is unsettling. And we have the full range of caddies. You want like just like a 14-year-old, working a summer gig? We got that for you. You want a caddy that knows we could pay up and get the caddy that knows every nick and cranny of everything on property, every green. You can get that sort of caddy also. So you've got your options and sort of like what you just want someone to hold your bag, or you want like, the full caddy experience.
But you've never done any of them.
No. I don't know.
Would you do it at a different course? Would you do it at a different course that wasn't your course?
Maybe. I've had a 4 caddy before, and that was really cool.
Well, there are a few courses that force you to take a 4 caddy. When we were at Black Desert, you had to have a 4 caddy because there's so many blind shots, and if you have not played it, you're just like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I got lucky enough to play Old Palm a few years ago with some older gentlemen, and like you have to have a 4 caddy.
I like having just a one-on-one caddy, someone to chat with, give you some insights.
I guess, but it's so embarrassing. Like I'm gonna.
Why is it embarrassing?
I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm gonna like struggle to like try to break 90. I don't need someone to hold my bag. Like,
well, I would think that the worse you are, the better the caddy as an investment would be. They can tell you, like, help you out.
Maybe. Listen, I'm sure if I get a taste of the bug of caddy, it's gonna be like Fienberg only, be like, you should see the budget of caddy bill Fienberg racked up at the club this year.
I have never seen a caddy impact a round more than when we were at Cabot probably 5 years ago. Cust ended up, we had, each of us had a caddy, and one of our friends got stuck with like the 14-year-old who hated his life and didn't want to be there, which was hilarious.
He's like, my parents make him be out of the house in the summer.
Yeah, and this is what he's doing. So that led to a very bad vibes round for our one friend. But this caddy that Cust had was like, oh, Timmy, that's a great shot, Timmy. And Cust was just beaming, walking down the fairway. He was finding Cust balls, picking them out. Oh, Timmy, don't worry about that. That's just down over there. Could not have had a bigger smile on his face, and Cust beat all of us.
Okay, so that is proof that, like, It's like a coach, caddy.
Yeah, he's like a hype man. He just
support system hype man.
He brought positive vibes to Cust, and that's all Cust needed. Someone to cheer him on the entire round. He wouldn't let Cust gets down on himself when he golfs, kind of like what I'm doing with my driver right now, because now, for whatever reason, over the past 2 weeks, I can't keep the ball on the planet, and I got to figure that out. So I can get down if that keeps happening to me. But Cust just every 2 shots, he'll be down on himself. Once he gets down, he gets the sads. Then he's not fun to play with anymore. And then he shoots 130. This guy was just good times all the time. Positive spirits. Had Cust hitting the ball well. Even if it was a bad stroke. Oh, it's a good stroke, Timmy. Do that again. Be right down the center. It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Wish I had that guy as my caddy.
Sounds and I have no doubt there are some caddies that are, like you said, it just creates an amazing day. They're good, not just caddies who are carrying the clubs. They're just they're great persons, and they're just really good at their job, and they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I would guess that most caddies are enjoying themselves. Unless you're an asshole, they're not going to be an asshole to you.
That 100%. Now I would trust me. I'd feel ashamed. I'd kill him with kindness.
It's very awkward. It feels like you would be the one making it awkward when there is no awkwardness to the situation whatsoever. It's the job and it's a part of the game.
I agree, but Cust does this thing now where he still wants someone to pump his gas. To me, that'd be I don't know, man.
Well, he only wants people to pump his gas because he keeps getting gas all over him.
Oh yes. I mean, Cust wants a caddy at the grocery store. Didn't he say he wants someone from the store to walk the store with him
and come to his house and put it away?
Oh.
All right. We're back tomorrow talking football with Cust and Garion. Plus, we have recorded the Custies. We're working on it now. That will come out on August 31st. So look forward to that. Plus, you're going to be here in person next week. We're going to be recording AFC wins and NFC wins.
2 of the best shows of the year.
And if we have time, maybe we'll throw in a Cust corner on top of that too, just to kill some more time.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. And then we're going to be playing golf and we're going to be recording it.
I'm looking forward to all of it. Golfing, recording, eating with you and Tim. I'm looking forward to all of it.
I forgot we're going to the tasting menu. That should be nice.
I'm a seafood guy, so I'm into it.
So you'll love it. And it's not quite as weird as the one that we went to in Montreal.
Yeah, I noticed. You sent me the menu. It seemed we're good. It's like a lobster summer's lobsterlicious.
There you go. All right, Geoff Fienberg at GFienberg17. He'll be back tomorrow. Me at the PME. I'll get the article done up for Monday evening. I have my model loaded in on betspertsgolf.com right now. If you want to know, Scotty Scheffler came out at number 1. I think Koiven is number 2, and Michael Brennan is pretty high up there, along with Thor. So if you've been playing well lately, you're probably high up on those power rankings, but you can make your own over at betspertsgolf.com. Use code MAYO to get yourself 25% off. All right? I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!